Hello, so we're going to be doing an express abdominal focused mat work class today without any props. We're going to begin supine lying on our back. So bring yourself down to the mat gently. You want to be aware of the positions the spine is going to be in within this workout. And we're beginning within neutral spine, which is quite normal for us here. So making sure you've got the gap in your lower back, your pubic bone, or your pubic bone and your hip bones are level. Relax the shoulders from your ears. You can place your hands on your hip bones if you need. Take a soft breath in, pelvic floor connection first. Exhale, switching on the transverse. Now we're going to start with some gentle pelvic tilts. Take a nice soft breath in. Imagine there is water in your belly button, and on an exhale, tilt the hips forwards as if you were trying to drain the water over your pubic bone and down between your thighs. Good. Take an inward breath, come back to neutral. As you exhale, tilt the pelvis back, releasing the lumbar spine to rest gently on the mat, spilling the water from your belly button over your ribs. Inhale, come back to neutral. Lumbar spine gap is present. And then as you exhale, tilt the pelvis gently forwards, feeling the lumbar spine gap increase, running the water down your pubic bone. Good. Inhale to center, and then exhale to tilt the pelvis back. Moving between the two very gently. You may like to place your hand in your lower back, and then you can feel the positions of the spine as you move. We're going to come back to center after one more tilt forwards and back, and come back to a neutral spine. We're going to go into pelvic curl. Walk your heels a little bit closer to your buttocks. Soften shoulders from ears. Take a deep breath in, tilting the pelvis gently back, releasing lumbar spine to the mat first. We're squeezing the big glutes. Pressing into the heels, we're going to peel the weight of the pelvis off, slowly rolling the weight of the lumbar spine off, mid-back, rolling onto our shoulders. Take a nice soft breath in here. Keeping the ribs drawn down, the glutes on, we're going to exhale, release the rib cage and upper back to the mat first. Use the glutes and the hamstrings as you roll down slowly through the vertebrae, coming back to the pelvis. Inhale, come back to neutral. Good, tilting the pelvis back on the exhale, releasing lumbar spine to the mat. Squeezing the big glutes, pushing off the heels. Exhale, roll on off. Rolling through the vertebrae, coming to your bridge on your shoulders. Take your breath in. Ribs down, glutes and hammies on. Exhale, come back down slowly. Good. We're going to do 3 more just to warm up the spine. Remember, this tilted back position is you switching on your glute max, driving through your hamstrings and heels to roll on up. You want to make sure the ribs are staying drawn down towards the hips, the back is not arched and the glutes are on. And then you gently roll down. Good. Take that moment to breathe in at the top and that pause to check your spinal alignment. Roll on up. Good. Inhale at the top. And then exhale, slowly roll down through the spine. Keeping the glutes and hammies on, let's do 1 more. Good, inhale to neutral, tilting back, exhale, squeezing and rolling on up. Good, take a nice soft breath in at the top. Slowly returning, exhale to roll down through the spine. Coming back to rest, that pelvis on the mat with the lumbar spine resting on the mat. And then inhale, come to neutral. Have a short rest here, switching off completely before we move on. So we're going to go into arm prep next to look at the upper rib cage setting. Arms are resting on the mat. Neutral spine is present. Switch on. Inhale, pelvic floor. Exhale, T-zone. Good. We're going to float the arms directly over the chest, releasing the shoulders from the ears. On your next exhale, as you reach the arms overhead, draw the ribs towards the hip bones, coming into upper body, upper arm extension, I should say, and then inhale, hands over chest. Good. Try not to lift the pelvis. Try not to lift the rib cage. As you exhale to reach overhead, the ribs are sinking in and down. Shoulders gliding down your mat. Inhale, hands over chest, possibly towards those hip bones. Now you could reach on up over the chest. Exhale, draw the ribs towards the hips as you reach overhead. Shoulder gliding down your mat, away from your ear. Inhale, hand over chest, down towards the mat. Beautiful. Keep it going. Exhale. And inhale. Beautiful. 2 more. Exhale. and inhale. Good, exhale, reach, ribs sink in and down, shoulders down your mat. Inhale, hands over chest and hold, stay switched on. Now I want you to think about floating one foot off the mat to tabletop. As you exhale, using that rib to hip connection, one foot comes off the mat, knee above your hip bone. We're going to go into arm prep. So as we exhale to reach overhead, the ribs are sinking in and down. Knee stays aligned over hip bone, sweep the arms wide down towards the hips here, and then inhale, hands over chest. Hold that tabletop. Exhale, reach, ribs in and down, sweep arms wide towards hips, inhale, hands over chest. Knee alignment over that pelvis still, keep it going, exhale, sweep, inhale, hands over chest. Don't lose that draw down of shoulders into the mat, ribs to hips. Let's do 2 more on this side. Exhale. Good. 1 more. Keep those abdominals on. Hands coming over chest. Let's return the foot to mat and change sides. Exhale, tabletop is first. Good. Keep that focus on the ribs, drawing in and down as you exhale and reach overhead. Sweep the arms wide. Inhale, hands over chest. Good, the knee not moving towards your face. You're keeping that nice strong connection of the thigh drawing into the hip joint as we go through our lovely rib cage setting arm prep circles. Good, 3 more. Really focus, exhale, rib to hip. Good, inhale, hands over chest. Good. Final one coming up. Beautiful. Hands over chest, bring the foot back to the mat, rest the arms down and have your rest. Beautiful. We're going into tabletop, into single or double leg variation of toe taps next. You decide which you'd like. Keeping your neutral spine, let's switch on to T-zone and then exhale, float 1 foot from the mat. For single leg toe taps, exhale, tap the toe to the mat, ribs drawing towards the hips. Inhale to float knee over hip. Exhale and inhale. Beautiful. Going for 10 on one side before exchanging 10 on the other. Or in double leg tabletop, knees both aligned over pelvis, holding one leg still as we exhale, tap the toes on one leg, rib to hip drawing in and down. Inhale, knee over hip. Exhale and inhale, tabletop. Keep the ribs drawing towards the hip bones, particularly as you tap that toe towards the mat. Keep the shoulders drawn down, a light tuck of chin to chest if you're straining through the neck. Tapping further from the glutes if you need more challenge. Some of you may even be going into your double leg toe taps, but remember that cautionary drawing of rib to hip, particularly if you feel double leg lowers is pulling your pelvis out of neutral alignment. Come back to double leg variation, or come back to single leg tabletop. Good. Let's go for 3 on each side if you're in double leg, 3 more if you're in single, or 3 more if you're in your double leg lower. Flange through those abdominals. Last one. Come back to tabletop. Knees can come to chest or feet down one at a time to rest. Good, have a short break here. Switch off from those abdominals. We're moving into pendulum. Now you could be in double leg tabletop or stay on the mat, the choice is yours. Arms are outstretched wide from the chest, palm facing up. Melt the shoulders back. Switching on to your T-zone. Come into your beginning position, squeezing your thighs, your knees, your feet together. We're going to inhale as both legs roll over one side of the body, releasing one hip, one glute if you're in tabletop, 1 foot if you're in on the mat. Exhale to squeeze the inner thighs, scoop out through T-zone, legs to center. Inhale the legs over, shoulders want to stay on the mat, eyes fixed on the ceiling. Exhale, scoop and return. Good. So for those of you that are losing that shoulder connection to the mat, wiggling down your mat by the end of the exercise, try to think about relaxing the shoulders back. Try to minimize your range of motion. If you go too far, the shoulder will lift. The legs are heavier than the shoulder girdle. Good. For those of you that want a little bit more, as you inhale the legs over one side of the body, shoulders on the mat, squeeze the knees, extend the top leg, exhale, sweep the toes on the ceiling, return to center, tabletop or feet down. Inhale, legs over. Squeezing knees, extend the top leg. Exhale, sweep the toes, scooping out through that T-zone. Good, come back to center. Inhale over, extension, squeezing knees. Exhale to sweep. Good, tabletop. Squeeze through the knees as you go to that leg extension. The leg does not have to be perfectly straight. Good. Let's do 2 on each side. Inhale. Exhale, scoop T-zone, coming back to center. One more each side. Last one. Come back to center. Bring feet down one at a time and have your rest. Release your arms by your side. Beautiful. So we're feeling nice and warm. We're going to go into ab curl 1 and into a bicycle leg if you choose. Ab curl 1, starting with feet on the ground. Hands behind the head, elbows wide, chest open. If you'd like, you can alternate this out for 10 of your lift foot, 10 lift and extend on each side. I'm going to switch on my T-zone in neutral and gently tuck the chin to the chest to lengthen the back of the neck and float it from the mat. On your next exhale to curl, ribs are sinking in and down to scoop through the abdominals, lifting head and shoulders from the mat. Inhale to lower. Exhale to curl. And inhale to lower. Try not to tilt the pelvis back like you did in your warm-up. We'd like to keep the pelvis floating in neutral and minimize the pressure through the lower back. Utilize that scoop of those abdominals. Some of you may move into single leg tabletop for 4 repetitions before alternating tabletop on the opposite side for 4 reps. Keep the alignment of knee over hip, the ribs drawing towards the hip bones as you scoop out the tummy. Try not to tilt the pelvis back onto the mat. Once you've done 4, you can alternate tabletop on the opposite leg. We're really focused on scooping out that tummy, drawing ribs towards hips. Keep the back of your neck lengthened, chin lightly tucked to chest. Once we've done 4 on this tabletop leg, you could rest, or some of you may be working a double leg tabletop for 4. Keep the knees a little apart if you want extra intensity. Bring the knees together if you are challenged in that pelvic stability. Exhale to curl, keeping the light tuck of chin to chest, scooping out the tummy. It doesn't have to be a big range of motion to bring your head and shoulders from the mat. You're trying to keep yourself working within safe spine in double leg tabletop. Last one. Beautiful. Head comes back to the mat. You can bring knees to chest and have a rest. We're going into bicycle leg, which is in double leg tabletop. Your alternate exercise will be your lift and extend, like I previously stated, 10 on each side. Come into tabletop when you are ready. Good. Come into a curl position, making sure exhale, ribs draw towards hips to scoop the belly to peel the upper body from the mat. Now we're going to reach the arms towards the hip bones here. We're going to go through our toe taps, alternating exhale, tap the toe to the mat, inhale to float. Keep the ribs drawn towards hips, lengthen the back of your neck, chin lightly tucked to chest, exhale to tap and inhale to float. Tapping further from your buttocks to make it more challenging. If your couch is not in the way, keep a little bend in the knee, even if you are really reaching that leg out. Good. Draw the ribs towards hips, flatten through the abdominals. Let's go for 2 on each side. Last one. Come back to tabletop, upper body on the mat, knees to chest and rest. Good, feet down one at a time. Beautiful. We're going to go through our hundreds prep. For those of you that are non-curling, you can reach the arms down the mat and still work on sliding the ribs to the hips to really get that oblique work. We're going to start with feet on the ground. Those of you that would like, you can stick with any level, going for your 10 to 12 repetitions. I'm going to start with hands floating over the chest, a light tuck of chin to chest, switched on through the T-zone. Exhale to curl, sweeping hands down towards the hip bones, scooping ribs to hips, scooping out the belly. Good, peeling upper body off the mat, and inhale to lower. Exhale to curl, inhale to lower. Think about that drawing down of rib to hip, reaching arms past the hip bones from armpit to fingertip. A light tuck of chin to chest to keep you from straining your neck. Good. Those of you that would like, keep the feet on the mat or single leg tabletop variation next for 4. Exhale to curl. Inhale to lower. Knee alignment over that hip bone, please. Now the tabletop knee does not compromise the tilting of your pelvis. We don't want the lumbar spine being squashed into the mat. We want to hold the pelvis within neutral here. Once you've done 4 on this leg, you can exchange tabletop for 4 on the other side. Remember, we're not trying to drop the pelvis back into the mat or out to the side. Keep the knee alignment over hip. Exhaling to curl, scooping out those abdominals, ribs drawing to hips. Inhale to lower. For those of you that have done 4 on each tabletop leg and would like to do 4 in double leg tabletop, you can add 4 in here. Good, exhale and inhale. Last one. Bring the feet down one at a time to rest, arms by your side, switch off, take that time out. Beautiful. We're going to move into side lying for a little bit of break from supine. Squeeze your inner thighs, roll onto your side, come into side lying. Now side lying obliques is really important here. So we begin by finding the bottom waist. Push the top hip bone down, push the top hip bone forwards. Keeping the bottom leg bent, the top leg shoots long for straight leg raise. If you have room and your couch is not in the way. At hip height. Now pull the top leg away from the top hip bone, lengthen that bottom waistline a little bit more. Keeping it in line with your pelvis, halfway between your bottom knee or over the bottom thigh, rotate the leg down from the hip joint. Exhale, push the heel up and inhale to lower. Only pushing, exhale, as high as you can keep the bottom waist off the mat. In this third position, the most challenging work on the obliques, you may find your range of motion is limited. Exhale and inhale. Beautiful. Keep that bottom hip, that bottom waist up by pushing the top hip down. Rotation down from the hip joint. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bring the leg back to 45, have a little rest. Shoot both legs out long for double leg lift. Bring your toes just in front of your chest line, so make sure you can see your feet. Make sure the top hip bone rotates forwards. You're resting down on this bottom arm, either in this bicep hold or a straight arm. Top palm in front for balance. Shoulder draws down. Manually switching on, we're going to inhale, lift the pelvic floor. Exhale, flatten through the abdominals. We're going to squeeze the inner thighs, lengthen the legs from the hip bones to float the feet from the mat. Squeezing the heels and inner thighs, exhale, double leg lift, and inhale to lower. We want the top hip bone moving into the top rib cage. We're utilizing the inner thigh squeeze, the squeeze of your heels, the flattening of your abdominals to lift the legs. Good. Exhale and inhale. Shoulder draws down. Good. Lovely. Keep on that bottom hip joint. Don't roll back. Lovely. Keep the top hip bone facing me. 3, 2, and 1. Hold this last double leg lift. If you can, breathe and find balance. Place the top palm on that top thigh. Take a deep breath in. If you're ready, let's try lateral flexion, if I've got space with this top arm. Exhale, glide your thigh towards the side of your knee, drawing your rib to hip. Good. Inhale to lower. Keep the legs floating. Exhale, squeeze the heels and inner thighs. Reach the arm towards the side of the knee and inhale to lower. Some of you may find that your ear starts to float from your forearm and the bottom armpit starts to float from the mat. If this is happening, keep focused on what's happening here. Keep the legs floating, keep that double leg lift. Exhale, slide, reach to lateral flexion and inhale to lower. Good, 4 more. Exhale and inhale. Good, the further down the side of the knee, the more you may find that you're floating that bottom armpit from the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs, last one. Inhale to lower, bring the arm and the ear back to the mat. Bring the hand back to the mat. Bend the knees and rest the legs down. Good. Take a little rest here. The side oblique work is really important in side lying. Let's go for our thoracic rotations next. The bottom arm is going to extend out from the chest. If you need, pop something underneath the ear to realign the neck. Top hip bone pushes down to lift the bottom waist. Top hip bone forwards. Top palm on top of that bottom palm. Switching on to our pelvic floor and our abdominal connection. Slide the top palm forwards, inhale. Exhale, palm comes to the ceiling. Eye on that thumb, exhale, push the palm behind us. Let's stretch the chest, keep the top hip bone forwards. Inhale, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, close palm to palm. 3 more. Inhale, reach. Keep the top hip bone here. Exhale, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, push the palm behind you. Push the top hip bone forwards, bottom waist up. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. Exhale, close palm to palm. Good, 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do our final one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fingertips to the ceiling. Push the palm behind you. Keep the top hip pushed forwards, bottom waist up. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Have your rest. Push yourself on up. Let's change sides. Moving into side lying on the opposite side. Coming into 45 degrees with the legs. Take the time to find that bottom waistline. Switching on the obliques, pushing the top hip down, rotating the top hip bone forwards. The bottom leg stays bent at 45. The top leg is going to extend. Flatten the abdominals, reach the top leg away. Good. It's at hip height, in line with your hip, 1. Halfway between your bottom knee and buttocks is 2. And over your bottom thigh is 3rd position. Turn the leg down from the hip joint. Exhale, push the heel up and inhale to lower, straight leg raise. Exhale and inhale. Good. Keep the bottom waistline up. Keep the abdominals flattening. Only push the leg as high as you keep the obliques on. Exhale and inhale. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's bring the legs back to 45. Hand in front. Let's straighten out the legs for double leg lift. Be aware you want to see your toes. Your top hip bone is forwards. Palm in front for balance. Shoulder draws down. Good. Switching on manually to that T-zone. Inhale, lift the pelvic floor. Exhale, flat through those abdominals at the front of the pelvis. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, squeezing the heels, lengthen the legs from the hip bones. Good. From this point, squeezing inner thighs and heels, exhale, double leg lift, and inhale to lower. Keep that hip bone facing me, don't roll back. Good. Relax the shoulder. Use only 2 fingers of point of balance if you can on the mat. Top hip bone moving into the top rib cage. Now one side may have better range of motion than the other. We're going for our 10 reps. We've got 3. Squeeze, exhale, lift, and inhale to lower. Good. Squeeze, exhale, lift, and hold. Take a deep breath in. If you can find your balance, release the palm and place it on the top thigh. Good. Keep that inner thigh connection. Keep that double leg lift. And on the exhale, start to slide and reach the palm down towards the side of the knee, squeezing the heels into the thighs. Good. Inhale to lower. Keep your double leg lift. Exhale. And inhale. Think about drawing the rib cage down towards the hip bone. Exhale. Some of you may be lifting the ear from the forearm. Squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale, reach. And inhale to lower. Really extend the legs from the hip bone. Some of you may be releasing that bottom armpit from the mat here now. The further you reach down the side of the knee, the more you may find that lateral flexion, rib to hip connection. Good. Final 2. Last 1. Come back, ear on the forearm, palm on the mat, rest the legs down, come back to 45 degrees. Good, thoracic rotation, bottom arm, straight out from the chest, realign something underneath the head or the earlobe if you need. We want the bottom waist lifted, so the top hip bone down and rolled forwards. Top palm resting on bottom palm. Switching onto the T-zone, take your breath in, reach the top palm forwards. Exhale, fingertips to the ceiling, eye on the thumb. Exhale, push the palm behind you, really stretch the chest, keeping the top hip bone forwards. Inhale, palm to the ceiling. Exhale, close palm to palm. 3 more. Inhale. Keep that top hip bone forwards. Exhale, fingertips to the ceiling, bottom waist up. Exhale, stretch the chest, pushing your palm behind you. Top hip bone doesn't roll back. Inhale, hands to the ceiling. Exhale, close palm to palm. Good. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Really keep that bottom waistline up, the top hip bone facing me as you stretch that chest. Our final 1. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, close palm to palm. Switch off and rest that bottom waistline in the back. Good. From this point, we're going back onto supine. So bring the top knee towards your chest, roll onto your back, realign yourself in the center of your mat. So we're going to go into oblique curl next, and then we're moving into crisscross. So for those of you that are not curling, you could go into your single leg circle as your alternate exercise. We're going to begin, hands underneath the head, elbows wide, chest open. Neutral spine, switch on that T-zone. Good, a light tuck of chin to chest, lengthen the back of the neck, place the weight of the skull in your hands. On the exhale, begin to curl, sweeping ribs to hips to scoop the abdominals, and then rotate across. Opposite armpit to the hip bone. Inhale to unrotate and lower. Good, opposite side. Exhale to curl, ribs to hips, scooping out that tummy first. Rotate across. Inhale to unrotate and lower. Good. Exhale to curl. Rotate. Inhale and lower. For those of you that are confident with this exercise, we can add single leg tabletop. Rotating towards the hip bone of the floated leg for 4 reps. Staying on one side, rib to hip to scoop first. Rotate across. Inhale and lower. Try not to just draw your rib to your hip. It's not lateral flexion. You want to reach the armpit over the body to the hip bone. Good. Once you've done 4 on one tabletop leg, Alternate 4 on the opposite. Focus on that scooping rib to hip connection first. Keep those abdominals flat as you rotate opposite armpit to the hip bone. Good. Exhale and curl. Rotate, unrotate, lower. Good. For those of you that have done 4 in each single leg, you can give yourself 4, 2 on each side in your tabletop, double leg, if you choose. Again, keeping a little part from the knees if you want a challenge, or squeezing the knees together for more pelvic stability. Keep the weight of the skull in your hands, lengthen the back of the neck. Once you've done 2 on each side, bring the head back to the mat. You can bring knees to chest, have a little wiggle and a roll, or bring the feet down one at a time to rest. I'm going into crisscross next. So crisscross, we keep the upper body in flexion off the mat. Those of you that do not want this option, leg slides, 10 on each side, or alternate for your single leg variation, which I've taught many times in class, which is your curl and oblique, and then your leg slide holding tabletop. You can go for 5 on each side before resting, working up to your 10 on each side. For this exercise, I'm working in double leg tabletop. I've got a little part through my knees for extra challenge. Now the weight of my head is in my hands. I've got a light tuck of chin to chest. I'm switched on. As I exhale to curl, scooping rib to hip, scooping out flat abdominals, I'm going to hold this flexion. I'm not pushing the lower back into the mat. I'm going to rotate across towards the opposite armpit, lengthening the opposite leg away, and lowering at 45. Inhale to tabletop, stay curled. Exhale to rotate, lengthen, and lower. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, and inhale. Good, keep that light tuck of chin to chest, shoulders from the ears. As you rotate across, really lengthen this leg. Really think about pointing it out from hip bone to toe. Good, let's do 1 more each side. Curl and extend, rotate, hold that flexion. Come back to tabletop, bring the head down, knees to chest and have your rest. If you're still working your leg slides, keep going. I'm going to go into my straight leg stretch next as your last exercise here in our supine. Again, you need to be in double leg tabletop. So I'm coming back to tabletop with the abdominal connection on. Now, it's the same position as you do your crisscross. We're coming up into flexion and holding it. So hands behind the head once more, chin lightly tucked to chest, lengthen the back of your neck. As you exhale to curl, we're going to draw the ribs towards the hips to scoop out the abdominals. From this point, I'm going to bring 2 hands onto one leg. You could go for bent knee, single leg stretch if you like, instead of straight leg stretch, which is very much like your crisscross connection, same cueing. I'm going to go for the straight leg variation. So I'm straightening out one leg, placing my hands just above the knee joint. I'm going to straighten the opposite leg, and as I lower the leg, I'm pulling this leg towards my thigh, scooping out my abdominals. Inhale, both legs come back to center, straight. Placing the hands on the opposite thigh, exhale, pull the thigh towards the chest as you lengthen and lower the opposite leg to 45. Good, inhale, legs to center, changing. Exhale, pulling the thigh towards the chest to lengthen the opposite leg away. Inhale and exhale. Good. For those of you that are confident with this, continue on, straight leg stretch for 4 on each side, or come to bent knee, single leg stretch. Pulling the bent knee towards your chest as you extend the opposite leg away. Inhale to tabletop. 2 hands are on one leg. I'm placing one hand on the bent knee, one underneath my hamstring. Good. Keeping the chest and the chin to chest, the ribs to hips. If you're in your straight leg stretch, Really concentrate on keeping the pelvis nice and still. The abdominals flat. Your last one on each side. Good. Come back to tabletop, hands on the knees. Upper body down, feet down one at a time and rest. Beautiful. Strong exercises. Excellent concentration. Bring the knees together, roll onto your side. Push yourself into your box to finish. So we're going to finish with a little bit of swimming legs and a little bit of down dog to come on up. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath those hip bones. Shoulders are going to draw down away from the earlobes. Inhale as you lift the pelvic floor. Exhale, switch on to that T-zone. Think about supporting the lower back from the mat in this position. Swimming legs and arms. Keeping this lovely box, we're going to exhale, reach on our opposite arm and leg from the box. Squeezing the glute, drawing the shoulder blade down. Inhale, come back on in, change sides. Exhale, reach on out. Really think about squeezing your glute max, draw your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale in. If you are reaching the arm and leg away and you're floating hand and foot from the mat, you really want to utilize the glute max connection and the drawdown of your shoulder to keep your box within this nice neutral spine position. Keep the abdominals working. Good. Lovely. Beautiful. Shoulder blades drawing down from the ears as you extend that arm. Glute squeezing as you extend the leg. Let's do 2 on each side. Beautiful, last one. Really lovely connection to T-zone to support that box. Good, come back to your 4-point kneeling box, winding the knees if you choose, pulling the buttocks back towards the heels and resting in child's pose. So, for those of you that don't want the next exercise, which is particularly horrible, I have to say, it's called 4-point knee hover, which is really common in reformer or icebreaker. You could go into your chest press level 1, 2, or 3 for 10 reps, whatever you choose. For those of you that want a challenge, and it is a challenge, come back to your box. Hand underneath your shoulder, knee underneath your pelvis. You need to switch onto the T-zone and really find that lovely drawdown of the shoulders to support your neutral box, and you need to tuck your toes under. Good. From this position, we're flattening through the abdominals. We're really strong in T-zone. Now, this is called hover because the knees come off the mat. Very much like coming up into plank 3 from your plank 2 position. The shoulders are going to draw down. You're going to push off the chest. Take a deep breath in. Keep the tension out of the neck, and on the exhale, think about flattening or lifting the abdominals a little bit more. Pushing into the ball of your foot, you lift your knees. Now, you don't lift your hips higher than your chest. You take a deep breath in, and then you bring the knees back to the mat. Try that again. Keep the shoulders drawn down. On the exhale, doing up the knot on the belt. Exhale, lift. Good. Take a deep breath in, and then slowly bring the knees back. Good, let's do that for 4. Really horrible exercise. Exhale. Good, and inhale. If you need, change your wrist position into fist with a straight wrist. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down, flatten through the tummy, lift the knees. Push into the ball of the foot and inhale. Come back down. Good, exhale. Inhale down. Lovely. 2 more. Exhale. This is called icebreaker. Inhale. Last one, draw the shoulder blade down, exhale, and inhale, come back to the mat. Lovely. Now, change your wrist position. We're coming up through downward dog, keep the T-zone on. Same exercise you've just done is preparation for lifting the hips to downward dog. Shoulder blades down, inhale. As you exhale, again, lift those abdominals, lift the knees, push into the ball of the foot, take a deep breath in. Push the hips high, exhale. Push the weight back towards the heels. You're dropping your head between your arms, pushing off of that chest, that palm, that shoulder. Keep the hips lifted, push the heels down. If you'd like, pedal through the feet. Releasing the calves really gently. Keep bent knees if you feel this in your lower back and you want to take the strain off. We're going to come back to both feet drawing towards the mat, hips high, taking a deep breath in. On an exhale, scooping the tummy, we're going to bend through the knees, walk the hands back towards the feet. Coming into a forward fold of your roll down, take a deep breath in. On an exhale, scoop through that abdominal connection, start to stack the vertebrae and lift. As you roll to the top, lift the sternum, drop the shoulders, take your breath in. 3 roll downs, chin to chest. Exhale, sink and roll, forwards and down, rib to hip. Allow the head to move in front of the belt line, arms loose from the armpit, roll down. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, scoop through the belly, push through the legs, switching them on, and roll the vertebrae upright one at a time. Lifting at the top, dropping shoulders, inhale. Chin to chest, exhale, roll. Good. Really sink forwards and down, take a deep breath in, bend knees if you need. Exhale, push through the heels, switch on the legs, scoop the belly, roll by stacking vertebrae upright. At the top, inhale, relax the shoulders, last one. Chin to chest, exhale. Roll forwards and down. Lovely, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, scoop that belly, switch on the legs, stack the vertebrae tall. Think about lifting the sternum, dropping the shoulders, take a deep breath in, and exhale, and you're all done. Well done. So that's your express abdominal workout. Just a little bit over 35 minutes. I hope you enjoyed that one there, and it's a little bit challenging for you. Have a good week. I'll see you soon. Bye.